guys, it's Lindsay from the blog Books for Christian Girls, and today I'm going to be catching up by answering some of y'all's bookish questions. So in this video, I'm going to be answering some, not all, of 4 bookish tags that I was tagged on a blog, 1 YouTube video, and then 1 Instagram. So I have a bunch of questions. I'm not going to answer them all because I've either A, already answered them in another video, B, I may have already answered a very similar question, or C, I wanted to leave that question open in case y'all asked me that for my Q&A, which I'll be filming in October, but I'll share more info about that as it gets closer. So actually just this past week alone, I was tagged for 2 more video tags, and I do plan on doing those each separately because the questions are pretty involved in depth, and I'm really looking forward to answering them on that kind of scale. So those will come later, and I can't wait for y'all to see those. So let's get started with the first blogging tag. This one was from RebekahAshleigh at RebekahAshleigh, and it was the book lovers tag. So one of her questions was, what was the best book you've read so far this year? And my answer, I needed to answer this back in February. No, in all actuality though, I have only rated 2 books 5 stars so far this year, and 1 was a Bible study. So that second book was Katie in Waiting by Erin Mangum. Oh, it wasn't like romance driven, and I loved it, and of course it's Erin Mangum, so the faith content is so high, and it's phenomenal, and it's got the wit, and oh, it's so good. And I still haven't read book 2 and 3 yet. I'd really like to get this series, this trilogy done before the end of the year. I feel like that's a decently sized goal. Maybe that'll happen. I can be hopeful, right? Another question she asked was, do you have any bookish pet peeves? Yes. Probably just my top 2. I'll just do my top 2 because I have too many, y'all. I have way too many. It's bad. But the first one would definitely be the dog-eared pages. I have literally seen a librarian do this, and I wanted to go, like, get her librarian card back because, no, that's not how you do it, librarian. No! And then my second bookish pet peeve would be crumbs in books. I buy a lot of used books, and sometimes they're in great condition, but then there's other ones where they're like not, and there's crumbs. So I'm like, this is disgusting. Stop it. So maybe that's why I personally don't really eat while I read, because I've been horrified by chocolate smudges and stuff on the pages of my books. Y'all, no. There have been some where they have crumbs in the books, and that's just a major turnoff. Like, ew. Ew. So, yeah, those would probably be my top 2 biggest pet peeves, but I mean, I could make a video about them. And then the last question I picked from her tag was, do you have a favorite place or time that a book is set in? And yes, definitely. While I still do have guilty pleasures, which are dystopian books, for the historical sense, I really love the early 1900s. Like from 1890 to 1915. I don't know, if I could go back to any time period, it probably would be around the turn of the century, like that, just maybe because of the clothes. But, y'all, those are the best historical clothes to me. It's like, yes, that is the time period I could get completely into, I think, besides, like, you know, certain, because it's history. But there are things in this time period that we're currently living in that I don't like either. So, I mean, I feel like we would never be completely like, yes, this is perfect, because the world's not perfect. So probably the early 1900s set in a big city. That would be my answer to this one. So thank you so much, RebekahAshleigh, for tagging me. I had so much fun reading your answers, and her original post is in the description below. So this next one is from Miss TC, and she did the Liebster tag. And I actually have already done 3 versions of this tag before on my blog back a few years ago. So I just thought I would pick some of her original questions and answer them. But side note, Liebster. Liebster, is that how we say this? It looks German. Is it German? I should know. I'm part German. That's great. Liebster? Liebster. Does anyone else remember those Liebster handheld things? Like, they were heavy and you could conk someone out with it. Which, I'm not saying I did that, but there was a really annoying boy. Do y'all remember? And you would like, it was like the kindergarten version of a Nintendo DS that like you had in 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. Does anyone else remember that? And it had the little cover, the little screen, but it was huge and bulky, and oh my word, I feel like I'm dating myself. Mine was purple. Anyway, I loved it. Alright, back to the questions. So one of her questions that really stood off to me right off the bat was, what's more important to you, the plot or the character? And this is a hard one because I'd like to say they're both important, but at the same time, I'm going to have to go with the character just because you can have a fantastic plot, but if you have a bratty or a whiny character, it ruins the plot. So I think I'd go with the character. The character is probably the most important to me. She also asked a similar question for the favorite time period, so that is the early 1900s in a big city. And then she also asked just 2 fun questions that aren't technically bookish, but I thought would be fun to answer. And one of them was, if you could visit any country for a week, where would it be? And honestly, most of the places I want to go to, I want to be there longer than a week. Like, let's be honest here. Nope, I want to be there way longer. Like China, South Korea, I want to be there longer. But probably still somewhere in the Asian countries. So maybe Thailand or Vietnam I would go with. And then she also asked a fun question, and that was, what is your favorite animal to see at the zoo? And while I like to say pandas, my semi-local zoo doesn't have normal pandas, but they do have the cute cousins, the red pandas, and y'all, I love pandas, oh my word, so much. If you haven't seen my room tour, I show off all my little panda plushies and knickknacks, and I'd like to say I've gotten even more since I filmed that. So yeah, just any form of the panda. I love pandas, so yes. I want to go back to the zoo. I haven't been to the zoo in years, and they literally had to pry me away from the red panda exhibit because they were so tired and they were so cute, y'all. Those were the questions I picked from Miss TC's post. That original post is in the description below if you'd like to check out her answers. Thank you so very much for tagging me, Miss TC. And then Emily at For the Bookish, love that name, tagged me to do the Book Lovers Questionnaire, which sounds really fancy. So some of the questions I picked from hers was, can you stop and anywhere in the book, or do you have to stop at the end of a chapter? And it's definitely easier if I stop at a chapter or a line break, but I definitely prefer to stop at the end of the book. It's definitely a whole lot easier for me just to read a book in one sitting, and that's normally what I do. So another question she asked was reading at home or elsewhere. And again, because I do review with a legit clipboard, it's way easier for me to read at home. So I'm either typing up my review as I'm reading it on my laptop, or I'm writing down content notes on my clipboard. It's just a lot easier to do it at home. If it's a book oh my word, that spider's alive. I thought it was a dusty spider, but no, it was a live spider. Ew, I hate spiders. I literally have goosebumps, y'all. I can't, I hate spiders. Nope. Alright, where was I? And then the last question I picked from her questionnaire was, do you read ahead or skip chapters? In the sense of like starting a book, getting into it, and then skipping all the way to the end, never. Ever. No. But in the sense of like reading, and then I know I see a content of something I need to write down, but it's an intense moment, I might just keep reading just a little bit, and when I get to a slightly less intense moment, I'll go back, write down the content, and then reread everything to make sure there was no content I missed. Does that make sense? So thank you so much, Emily, for tagging me. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Her original post is in the description below, so y'all can definitely go check it out. And then more recently, Hannah at Books, Cameras, and Succulents, love the name, tagged me to do the book series tag that she created. And I have to say my favorite question that she has on there is the one I'm going to answer straight away, and that is, an aesthetically pleasing series that you own or want to own. Love this question. For those who don't know, I am a semi-pro photographer, not quite pro. That basically just means that all my income does not come from photography. I still babysit. So I'm considered a semi-pro photographer. My style of photography is definitely a light, bright, white, airy with pops of color. So that's my style, and that's always been like my aesthetic, so to speak. So I would definitely have to say one that matches my aesthetic per se is the new editions of Worth the Wait and Worth the Time by Laura Jackson. I own the original ones, and they're autographed because the author was so kind and very sweet to send me them for review, and I did enjoy them, but look at these new covers, y'all. Look how gorgeous. Aren't they gorgeous? So definitely I'd have to go with these two because they're light, bright, airy. They have the golden glow, and oh, they're so pretty. Anna also asked, do I like a series to be numbered? And yes, that should not, I'm a firm believer that should not be optional. And I think my biggest way they should do it is make it pretty, like the Weddings by Design series by Janice Thompson. If you have seen this series in person, you know how gorgeous this all is, and I love how they have it numbered. It's just so well done. Hannah also asked, name a book series that has been made into a movie series. And honestly, I can't think of too many in the Christian fiction world that has. I mean, Robin Jones Guns is Finding Father Christmas, and then is it Engaging Father Christmas is being filmed right now, or Kissing Father Christmas? It's one of those is being filmed. Honestly, okay, so this series I'm going to mention hasn't been like a movie series, but it is one of my favorites, and I've been wanting to show off these editions. So I'm going to go with the Nancy Drew series, and y'all, these new covers are gorgeous. They've only done the first 9, and I'm waiting. I'm like, are we going to get the rest? Because I will buy the rest, because look how stunning. Secret of the Old Clock, The Hidden Staircase, The Bungalow Mystery, Mystery at the Lilac Inn, The Secret of Shadow Ranch, The Secret of Redgate Farm, Clue in the Diary, and then Nancy's Mysterious Letter. Y'all, I can't rave enough about these editions. I adore these covers. So fun fact, these are actually of the original text. So if you've read, like me, the yellow ones with the flashlight, those were apparently abridged or tweaked or something. So these are actually the official editions, which would be like the yellow ones with her on the spine, like her face. So those are, I think that's interesting. I have yet to read these official ones, but I love these covers. Are these not stunning covers? I want the rest of the series. I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, let's do this. This is kind of going on the bunny trail, and these weren't all technically made into movies. There is the first Nancy Drew that is, it's based off Nancy Drew. It's not one of the official mysteries, but it's the one with Emma Roberts back in 2007. Me and my mom will just watch it like once every couple months because it is such a good one. Another question Hannah asked was, name a book series that you didn't start with the first book. And it took me a long time to think of one for this. I am normally such a stickler for starting at the beginning, y'all. So I have had to think and think and think and think about it, and I finally came up with one. The Courtship of Lancaster County. Now, I actually have only read book 3 and then I read book 4, but I haven't read book 1 and 2 yet. I have them on my Kindle, I just haven't gotten to them. This is honestly the only series I can think of that I have kept and enjoyed that I read out of order, and I still haven't finished. And then her last question is a book series that you are due to reread. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all can answer this question for me, because I'm constantly saying that I need to reread the Robin Jones Gone Christy Miller series, or the Anomaly trilogy by Kristen McGee. So yeah, we'll just go with those two because those are my answers for everything. So this one is a really fun tag. I've really enjoyed reading her answers, and thank you so much, Hannah. Her original post is in the description below, so if you are curious about this tag or you want to answer it, definitely go do it. And then Super Sweet Victoria at Victoria Minks here on YouTube tagged me to do the book fun tag. So I just pulled some of her questions, and here we go. Do I have a favorite word? I would say it used to be fabulous. I used to use that word in like every sentence when I was younger. But then I've also loved the word winsome. For now, I use the word wonderful a lot. So maybe that would be a favorite word. I can't say though I have like a set favorite word. Like, yes, this is my favorite word. I can't say that. I don't get the deal though about least favorite words. Like, why do so many people dislike moist? Because I can think of a lot of the words I dislike more than the word moist. How many of y'all are cringing while I'm saying this word? I don't like the word definitely. I use it often. I can't spell it to save my life. Thank you, spell check, for saving my life. Because, that's a word I don't like. So if y'all ever see me use the word definitely, know that spell check helped me. Oh, and unfortunately. Forget about fortunately, but unfortunately, There's tuna in it. Do you say tuna when you spell unfortunate? Unfortunately. No, you don't. Alright, rant over. Another question she asked was, what's a book series that you or your family owns the most books of? And I thought it might be the Mandy series with 40 books, and then like there's the collections and the spin-offs. But I won't count that one. And then the Left Behind Kids books is 40 books as well. And then there's those collections. But I'm going to have to go with Grace Chapel Inn which has 49 books, and I own 44 of them. I am almost there, y'all. I've been trying to collect this series since the beginning of BFCG. So over 4 years now, and I am almost there. I am missing 5, y'all. I'm missing 5. I'm so excited. And I actually have this series all displayed nicely that way, so I'm not going to pull one out because I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not. So this is the first book, and there's a lot of them, so I'll put my display picture right here. Yes, I'm almost there, almost there. And then I finally get to read all of them because I still think I'm missing like some of the beginning ones, which is weird, but... She also asked, what book left you wanting to throw it across the room? I have never, ever thrown a book across the room. Have I? Maybe. Yes, I probably have, but we won't go into that. To keep this on a more happier note, well, somewhat happy. I remember when I was like 13, 12-ish, reading the Left Behind Kids books for the first time, and then book 11. I finished it. That last line, I was sniffly the entire time, but that last chapter of book 11 broke me. I did like a face plant to the floor, ugly crying. If you've read the series before, feel free to look back at what happens in book 11, but if you haven't read the series, don't spoil it to yourself. And then her last question was, how late have you stayed up reading? Did my parents put you up to this one, Victoria? Really though, y'all, my parents watch my videos, and if I admitted to how late I have stayed up for a book before, I would never hear the end of it, ever. So, no, I'm not going to answer this one on the grounds that I could be incriminated, so I plead the fifth. And you know, that totally just came to my mind because I'm doing a American government course, and my brain. Well, thank you so much, Victoria, for tagging me to do this. I so enjoyed your video. Her video is linked in the description below, y'all, if you'd like to go watch it. And then the last one I'm going to be answering is from Read Lovely Books on Instagram. I love the name. I think that is so cute. That's a good point too. She tagged me to do the hashtag she created, and maybe you may have already seen me answer this one on Instagram. So while I would be so afraid they would mess something up, I really would be happy to see Melanie Dickerson in any of her fairy tale retellings. I think that would be really interesting, and I think that would be like the one series of any of the books, as long as they went to like big screen or they had a fantastic costume and the filmography was stunning. I think those are the only times, those are the only books that I'd be like, okay, you didn't get this right, but I'll live with it because you got a lot of other things right, or it looks really well done. So probably her books. Alright, so that's it for this video. I sure hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to all those who have tagged me to do different ones. For those who have more recently tagged me, I do plan on doing other videos of those tags. But for now, I am somewhat caught up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your answers to any of these questions down below. I'm Lindsay from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where I post a new review every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have a new video on this channel every Thursday, and then I'm on Instagram every other day. Bye, y'all!